For 10,000 years, the Innu were nomads. They were hunters. They followed the caribou. "50 years ago, their lives were turned upside down. Stay in the community, they were told, so the children can go to school. The men were forbidden to hunt. Alcoholism and domestic violence became widespread. 2 generations have struggled to find a balance between the old ways and the new. The 3rd generation is coming of age, and the struggle continues."
My grandmother raised me, in the country. So that's what I like about the country, The reason I like the country up there, you don't drink up there. Like, only thing you gotta do is like hunting, that stuff. I don't like to eat canned food and stuff. Like, I like to eat like Innu food, That's what I do, Only thing I gotta do in my life with this, like, follow my grandmother's footsteps there. He was up in the country all the time.
But I'm wondering, how realistic is that? You can't stay in the country all year round, can you?
Like, at least like 3 months, probably.
If you're in the country 3 months, what are you gonna do the other 9 months?
Only thing I do up here is drink. Start making trouble and just have trouble. That's it.
Does that make you happy?
No.
Are you happy?
No.
Devo scrivere un tagliare una stedina. Ho tanto tai puto tanto. Mucha tani vin pai wi man. Pai wi hon tani da jet. Stai vi spita mi ju. Sta no mi ju. Asma des kan puna ta onde no tu.
I don't know what it is that's making our young people the way they are, and I wish I knew. They don't have the same kind of pride, They think the big scene is the drugs, the gas station, the alcohol. That to them is what is the scene today, I don't know what happened with our young people. Maybe because they know what's ahead is going to make them miserable. Is that why they're doing what they're doing? Committing these suicides? I don't know.
My name is Trisayan Andrew, and I'm 19 years old, and I've been living in Shishi my whole life. This is a partridge. It's really pretty how different the feathers go.
It's beautiful.
This too. My grandparents got it yesterday. They went out for a drive in Grand Lake, and they saw a partridge, and they killed it, and they wanted it for lunch. When I was young, I liked living with my grandparents more than staying with my parents. So I decided to live with my grandparents when I was about, say, 2, 3 years old. Yeah.
Is that something that happens a lot in your community?
I think so, yeah. A lot of kids, they turn to their grandparents and they call their grandparents as in their parents, right? They call them, like, as for me, I call my grandparents mother and father. And a lot of others, they do the same thing.
Been a lot of suicides in Shishishi.
Yeah.
How many people? About?
Oh, a lot. Like, a small community like this, everybody knows everyone, right? My best friend, her name was Tracy Rich. My godfather committed suicide when I was young. After that, I think it was Jill's. That was in 1995, I guess. I was 12 or 13 at the time. He hung himself in his mother's house in the basement. Andrew Rich, that was my brother's really good friend. And he took a gun and shot himself. Mr. T was his nickname. To me, he was like a brother. I don't understand one tiny bit why he did that. It's not fair. I don't know what corrupted him, what made him think this way. But at that night, he was drinking too. And my godfather's son, Gilbert, committed suicide not too long ago. There's a lot of people. There's too many people.
My name is Jack Panashwe, and I work with what they call the crisis response team in the community of Shahajit and Natwashish. So when the last suicide happened, I took the initiative to gather and talk to people within the communities. They were afraid that they were going to lose their loved ones. Who was going to be next? Were they going to be next? Who was going to be next? I went to the radio station. I broadcast what was going on within our communities.
Senda unga no Mr. Manager one hilut mawa muka chui wo di nanya tande sto sim no tan you know I know chui wo stona na.
I don't have the answers, and I don't think everybody has any answers. But as a community, I think as Innu people and elders and parents and youth start talking about some of the issues, we can find where we want to go.
What can you do when you live in a shoe? Sometimes I think I'm a cat. How many lives does a cat have? 8?
9.
9? I jumped off the bridge. I thought I was nobody. But I'm still ticking. And I can still give a good licking. Yeah. Like, I should understand what suicide is because I lost a nephew. I lost 2 friends from suicide. What can you do when you live in the shoe?
They don't call me Michelle and that stuff. They call me Giant. My friends started calling me Giant when I was like 12 years old, 13 years old. I'm 24 years old, and I'm cool. I never did seen city before, you know? I never seen big buildings before. First I went down Quebec City.
You ever been like on a regular airline?
No.
Have you ever had a job here in the community?
Oh, I was working with the Bangkok. I was guide out there too with the kids. So I was teaching them the hunt and that stuff.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No,
Do you have any children?
I got one children.
Where is she?
He must be home with his mom.
Do you ever see your daughter?
No.
How come?
You want to know?
Yeah.
I am an alcoholic, you know. That's the reason I don't see my daughter.
Most kids just don't do anything but just walk around, or most of them just stay home and just be bored. There's not very much to do around here at all. They have nothing going on at night times. They have nothing going on daytimes except for the people that do go to school. There isn't very many teenagers that do go to school.
How old are you?
16.
Where are your parents? Do your parents know you're sniffing gas? You know? How long have you been doing this? How many years?
Don't know.
Did you go to school? And what do you do all day?
Sniffing.
All day. You know it's really bad for you, eh?
Actually. Işte fazla.
اشتغل Who's her brother?
Gilbert.
Oh, is this Gilbert's sister? Yeah. Gilbert, who died just a few months ago.
Yeah. I guess they turn to drugs because drugs just keep their mind off things, and I just get stoned. I feel sorry for them. And I understand how they feel.
I don't talk to him.
Why?
Me and my dad always argue. We used to argue like what I did and what he heard. We argued anything every time we met. When I got nowhere to go, I stay here.
You actually lived here in the woods?
Yes. One time it was really cold. The wind blowing in the south, and I got used to it. So I stay here. I used to drink here, smoke dope. People and my friends always came every day, keeping company. Sold them a lot of stuff.
Did your father visit you?
No, sometimes I can hear him drive by, honk his horn, to say hello. That's it.
How did you know it was him?
Because I know he's gonna laugh at me when he honks his horn. Told him to fuck off. And sometimes I talk to him. I saw him yesterday before I was drunk.
So what are you going to do with your life, Neil?
It depends how well am I, what I'm gonna do. But I don't think about that much. I'm thinking about right now.
We have been made to forget who we are, you know. I mean, if I tell you to forget everything that you've ever been taught since birth, you know, wouldn't there be something that would be missing in your life? That's what the white man has done to the Indian. And they've made us not Innu up here, but white man, you know. When you do that to a people, what do you think is the result? Right? When you make them believe that there's something that they're not, and that they will never belong, they're never going to be equal.
So I'm trying to figure out where the girls were upstairs. One bedroom would be directly over me here, upstairs.
Yeah, and then one had its window. I think I don't want to end up like everybody else around here. Gonna have to think about what I really want in life. Smířej, boje schodím to tam? Pívno kdyby gotta? Netyhne, Tibia do to. Aha. Ja, ne tyhne nästan det smířej det. Hoppas formas en pimpa. I can see if I can get a full-time job in Boise Bay. Or I could go back to school, get my education. Or I could just stay here and live here, be with my boyfriend, live here for the rest of my life. But that's not what I really want.
Are you afraid that could happen?
Yeah,
So do you have a serious boyfriend?
yeah. His name is David Montague.
David, what do you do?
I'm not working right now. I'm waiting to go to work, or haven't made a decision about school yet. So I'm kind of in between both of those.
Is there a chance you'd go back to school?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I... there's really strong chance of me going back to school for sure, because I don't know. It's too sickening being unemployed, and getting a steadier job would be a lot easier, a lot better.
We started quit drinking around last week, and anyways, I seen a whole bunch of my friends when I was out, and they were all drinking. They were all asking me to come drink with them, and I just said no. And like, you know, it's gonna make me stronger if I just keep saying no to my friends, right? see the world besides what I've been seeing my whole life around here. Like to see something different, feel something different, do something different.
We have a large number of teenagers who still don't come to school. Attendance is an issue not just here, it's in lots of schools. Throughout the year, we've fluctuated, but we've managed to keep above 50% for the entire school year, except for May month, when we dropped down to 44% attendance rate in the school. The kids are gone in the bush with their parents. Time of the year when kids rather be out riding their bikes than in school, and the same thing will apply in June. We have students here who don't miss a day of school. Anyway, guys, good morning. This is our annual awards morning. What do you think of my new bikes? This year we decided to pass out bikes to the students with the best attendance in each section of the school. 3 bikes for primary, 3 bikes for the elementary, and it's working. The kids see that these are being offered to them, and then they work towards it. Congratulations again to Sam and Francis. Way to go, guys. And as a member of the community, I'm not only the principal here, but my wife is from here, and my 4 kids are from here, and they go to this school. It's a fact of life that, I mean, in the 21st century, the Innu will need to be educated in order to not only succeed personally, but to succeed as a group as well.
What happened in this case is that we received a call from a concerned relative of a young 16-year-old girl who had attempted to commit suicide by hanging herself in the basement of the residence where she was staying. The other occupants of the house, they managed to prevent her from actually following through with the suicide. We took her to hospital for a psychiatric assessment as a result of that. She was very, very distraught when I spoke with her, and she really wasn't in a frame of mind to speak in coherent sentences at all when I spoke with her. So I know her brother and her father have committed suicide in the last 5 or 6 years.
I heard about it yesterday afternoon. I was really shocked because I know April because she's a friend of my daughter. Me and her grandmother went up to Goose Bay to pick her up yesterday from the hospital.
And I went to see her. She was crying. She was talking on the phone. And I said, you got to stay here for one night. But she said, no, she doesn't want to stay. She wants to go home. And the doctor said he was going to contact with me today to get April's counseling help her, but he never did.
Like, until a death occurs, that's when you see teams getting up together. That's how
When there's an attempted suicide, nobody reacts?
No, I don't feel there's no reaction.
I think the children don't understand what they are doing. And I also think they didn't want to kill themselves. They just want to get attention from the parents.
Do you believe that they've received the right kind of parenting, these children?
Mm-hmm.
The parenting has been good?
Some, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does she want to go away to treatment?
And
can she tell us why?
Huh? She doesn't, the treatment doesn't help her. Doesn't help.
我到早上还是被推到死。我这我到呢，就是我当时也是的，那是到我过十倍，可是东西完到，我是个刚到个过十倍，我到我是完这进被推到死。是这样子一点到呀，是这样子一点到问题，那人小不当时一点到了。Minä te voi kauan te tote no tuita. Tante ko te mo itse ni mo ka sunu te no tuiti. O te mo itse ni po te na to to ka je wan. Pe so mo ji xiao jiao su yan ji ba ji. Te ga shi. Ya ko ji no dong qiao jiao ji ji.
That's what my grandparents tell me, that white men told them, if you don't stay here in the community, you're not going to get any money. And now look at us. The government throws us money, Voice Bay throws that money to us. They're still not solving our problems. What can you do when you live in the shoe?
Let us control our lives where you don't control us anymore, you know? Because you're not the people, you're not our parents. We're not children, we're adults. You came here, you took over, and you've destroyed many, many, many people in this continent.
One month, full people had suicides. Just 1 month. I'm not going to change it. Nobody can change it, you know? Nobody can. Even if you try, you can't change it. Nobody.
We heard that when you came back from Kamastassin last time
Don't say nothing about that.
All right.
You want to know why I'm worried about Giant? He tried to commit suicide, but he didn't do it because he was too heavy. He was too heavy. He jumped off. He jumped off here. He had a cord around his neck. And he told me when he landed on the ground, he thought he was dead.
I had one big mistake, you know. I like to try to see my cousins and some of my brothers and my sisters and stuff. So, my mom, I don't want to disappoint my mom and that stuff.
He told me, don't die, Jimmy. And I said to him, don't die, Giant. That sounds like a pact to me.
Is that enough to keep both of you safe?
No.
Why not?
Because no matter what you do, I can't watch him 24/7. I know myself that I'm never ever going to try to hurt myself again. I'm past that bump. I passed that little bump about trying to commit suicide. I passed that bump.
Why hasn't he passed the bump?
Because I don't think he wants to. When I think about it, I know he can, but when I think about it, I don't think he wants to pass the bump.
What do we do for the people our age now that are come so far along and dropped out of school, like grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, and never turn back, and now it's almost too late for them to go back to school? They're just running around the community with nothing to do, turning to alcohol, turning to drugs. And like, what I would like to see is for something for these people to do, like jobs, training, or something. There's got to be something for us to do. As for myself too, I'm in that position also.
Out there banging doors or doing more drugs or getting drunk on the streets, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's not, you want your leadership to listen to you. If you do positive stuff and say, look, here's a youth committee, here's the youth issues, here are our recommendations, and you take it to leadership,
The leadership is not going to slam the doors. They have no recourse but to say, we have to listen. I know what kids go through when they can't eat and when they can't find a drug or when they have no parent support and all that, right?
You were enrolled in the first year of high school here. You have 7 credits, okay? You know that you need 36 credits in order to get a high school graduation, right?
Students that drop out early, when they start looking for jobs and when they start looking for education, and that's when students come in to see us because they hit a brick wall. And that's when we get a lot of the young adults coming in. They want to do upgrading. They want to get their high school diploma.
Have you ever considered nursing or anything like that?
I wouldn't mind working at the daycare.
The daycare, there you go.
I like.
There's 2 worlds living in the community here in Cheshire. Being Innu, you have a different culture, you have a different language, but you also want to meet the expectations on the other side. You have to balance those two things. I think if you don't balance those 2, then that's when you start getting confused about who you are, where you want to go, what you want to do with your life.
Have to say that I'm going to do this and I'm going to stick this out until I get this done, right? I don't want to be stuck in Boise Bay making someone else's beds or...
All the kids have dreams, have goals, but you can't move forward if there's a block there. My parents were so much supportive into the formal education. You know, I just had the incentive to go. I wanted to go. But when it was time to go into the bush, it was time to go into the bush, and I had no say in that. I had no choice. So my parents always said, no, you're going in the bush. At the time, I thought, okay, but I'm missing out on my school. But now I look back on it, I'm really glad my parents did that because that's just being Innu, and that's good.